Hi everyone, it's Karen from the Geordie Grandma. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Sunday Sunshine Show in collaboration with the Transatlantic Housewives of YouTube, which include Marie from @BusyBeeMarie, Maria from @MariaCrocker and Tina from @Tina's Talk Time. And as always on a Sunday, we collaborate to bring you a video on a specific topic but put our own spin on it. And this week's topic was to see what you could get for £10 in a charity shop or thrift shop. So that's what we've done. We try to stay away from clothing. I'm not sure if the other housewives have done that or not, but I've definitely stayed away from clothing this time. I don't actually know what the others have bought. It'll be interesting to see their videos, so don't forget to go over and watch what they picked up when you're finished watching this one. So I've got I've got 5 items, and I did actually spend £10.75. So I went over a little bit, but there was something I wanted, and I thought, well, I can't find anything else, so I'll just get that. I'm just looking in the camera here, and if I look a little bit sunburned, it's because we went to Whitby yesterday for the day and stayed overnight, and it was really sunny, and we went on the Whitby tour bus that takes you around up to the Abbey and everywhere like that, and we sat on the top deck, which is an open deck, and it was hotter than I thought it was going to be, and I've burnt my nose and I've burnt my neck, so if I do look a bit suntanned, that's why. But anyway, back to the challenge and the 5 things I bought. So when you go into a charity shop, what hits you in the eye straight away is the clothes. You know, there's hundreds and hundreds of clothing items, and the thing that hits you after that is the bric-a-brac shelves. And I think for me, that those shelves where the bric-a-brac and the china and the glass and all of the odds and, you know, little odds and ends are, that for me is where charity shops can be a real treasure trove, because there's so many interesting things in there and so many different uses for things, that, you know, I think it's great just to have a look around. So as I show you the items, I'll tell you about them, and I'll tell you maybe some of them other uses that you could have for them. So we'll just start with the first one. This is actually something that I picked up for Warren, and it is a wooden totem pole. It's quite unusual, and I knew he'd like it straight away. He built a bar at the bottom of our stairs, which used to be a cupboard that we knocked out, and it's been a few different things over the years, but he built a bar in there last year, and he's collected all kinds of different things that are in there. It's got quite an eclectic look. It's a bit like a man cave. So if you are looking for man cave items, then a charity shop is an ideal place to go and have a look, because they have some really unusual things in there. But this is quite a heavy piece. It's well carved. You can see how tall it is, and this was £3. It was made in Canada, actually, it says on the bottom. Don't know if you can see that. But yeah, I picked that up. So definitely if you are looking for man cave stuff, then I would go and have a look in charity shops, because you never know what you might find in there. So that was £3. That was the only thing I picked up for him. All the rest were for me. The next item I picked up was a necklace. Now, you could always find jewellery in charity shops, and this caught my eye. I just loved the pendant on it. It's like a shell, like a mother of pearl shell kind of texture to it. It's shiny, it's pretty, it's quite big, and it's got like a rope lace neckband thing with a little metal clasp on. This obviously is new. It's still got the tag on. It was from Quiz. Originally this was £3.50, so not an expensive piece of jewellery, but I got it for £2. And I just thought the colours, it's like a blue grey colour, that'll go with a lot of things that I wear, a lot of the colours I wear. As you know, I like V-necks, so a nice long pendant is always going to work well with that. But yeah, I was really happy with that. I just thought that was so pretty. Now the next three things are probably things that you can repurpose slightly and use for other things. And the next item I got was a blue and white jug. You cannot go wrong with a blue and white jug. It's got like a blue and white flower print on it with a navy handle. This was £1.75. Of course you can use it for water, you could water your plants with it, you could put milk in it if you wanted to, although that would be quite a lot of milk. You could put, you know, some juice in there, some hot water for tea and coffee. But I think I'm going to use it to put flowers in. I think that would look really pretty with a little posy of flowers just on the table. I think that would look very pretty. But you could also use that for putting utensils in, you know, like spatulas and tongs and things like that in your kitchen. I think it would work really well with that. I suppose you could use it in your bedroom, put hairbrushes, combs, things like that in it. I think it would, you know, you could use it for lots of different things. If you've got some other jugs, you could just group them together and make a little feature. Yeah, I do like picking up jugs, I have to say, because they are quite versatile. It's not got any make on it. It's just a random blue and white jug, but blue and white is quite popular. And like I say, that was only £1.75. Talking about ceramic things, you also get in charity shops, you'll see loads and loads of, you know, vintage teacups and saucers, vintage teapots, things like that. And you might think, well, you know, what would I do with that? You know, people are throwing out their teacups and saucers. People don't make, you know, little teacups of tea anymore. You get a big pot. But actually, I seen a YouTuber not that long ago. She was collecting lots of teacups, vintage teacups from charity shops, because she was going to have a wedding in her garden, and she was collecting all of that kind of thing to have like a vintage wedding theme in like a marquee in her garden, which I thought was a lovely idea. I've actually seen a couple of YouTubers do that. You know, they've collected things as table centres to put on the tables for their weddings, all from charity shops. So, you know, if you're thinking of a vintage themed wedding, or, you know, table centres for your wedding, brilliant places to look. And teacups also, I've seen this done by crafters. Charity shops are a haven for crafters, they really are, because teacups are so versatile. Vintage teacups, you can make candles, put candles in them, you know, and put those on your little tables. I've seen a really interesting craft project that I might do actually with you could do it with a jug, but I've seen it do with teacups, and they're called floating teacups. I put some pictures in here because it's a little bit difficult to describe, but if you see the picture you'll know what I'm talking about. And you kind of have the teacup, it looks like it's floating in air and there's something pouring out of it. Not usually liquid, it's flowers or something. I've seen it done with where there's snow pouring out of it, with a little Santa on a sleigh coming down to the saucer where there's more things on the saucer. And I think that would make a really good craft project actually. Lots of different things you could do with teacups. People use them as little bird feeders in their garden, which is an interesting idea. You could put a little plant in it. So, you know, when you go into a charity shop and you see all of these teacups, don't just pass them by. You know, put your craft head on if you're a crafter and just think, what could I do with that? So yeah, that came to mind when I bought the jug actually. So the next thing I got was a big bag of buttons, and this was £2. Again, brilliant for crafters, buttons. They can be used, if you've watched one of my recent videos on my Temu haul of craft supplies for scrapbooking. Scrapbooking is a new hobby of mine, and I have seen on YouTube videos people using buttons as embellishments on their layouts in their scrapbook. So when I saw these, I thought I can definitely make use of those. And even if you don't do scrapbooking, buttons are quite versatile for, like, if you want to make a picture. I really like, I'll put some pictures in here. I really like this picture of the tree with the buttons as the leaves. I thought that was really interesting. So, you know, if you're into that kind of thing, that might be a fun project to do with some buttons. Or if you've got grandkids or young children, buttons are fabulous for crafting. You know, you can make like little caterpillars with them. They can make their own little flowers with them. And actually, I think my 4-year-old granddaughter, if I gave her these buttons in a little piece of thread, she could thread them all. I think she'd sit quite happily doing that. So yeah, don't just look at a pack of buttons and think, well, I don't do knitting or embroidery, or, you know, I don't make clothes. What am I going to do with buttons? You can do quite a lot with buttons. You just have to think about it. So that was those. They were £2. And the last thing, this is where I kind of went over, because there's 2 of them. And these were £1 each, and I thought, well, it's no good getting one, so I'm going to pick up 2, and that's what took me to the £10.75. I'll just put them down because they're both exactly the same. I'll just show you the one. Like I say, they were £1 each, and this is a lovely glass dessert bowl. So, you know, ice cream, strawberries and cream, something like that, little trifle, and it's got little strawberries on it, if you can see that, and it's got a little floral decoration around the top with a little fluted edge, and it's got some leaves on the base, and I just thought that was so pretty. You know, if you're sitting having dessert, you know, after a meal on a night, that would be so nice. Can you imagine that with like full of strawberries or some other kinds of fruits with some cream on the top? That would look really, really pretty. But you don't just have to use these for desserts. Again, you know, think about it. You could put some nice summer potpourri in there, and that would look really pretty just sat on the table with some, you know, colourful, maybe red potpourri, just to mirror the strawberry pattern that's on there. That would look really pretty. And when we're talking about the cups and putting candles in them, I actually saw this fabulous picture. I'll just put it in here. And this is actually a candle. It is an ice cream sundae in a dessert glass, and that is a candle. I mean, you wouldn't like that, would you? That is so pretty. But if, you know, if you're that way inclined, I've never made a candle myself, but maybe in the future I might have a go. Something like that. Pick that up for £1 and you've got your base for a really beautiful candle. Give that as a gift, you know. You could make the candle up and give that as a gift to somebody for Christmas or their birthday, or just as a gift. I just think that is such a good idea, and the bowl is just really, really pretty. I'll probably just use it as a dessert bowl for now, but yeah, definitely look at the glassware when you're in a charity shop. There is huge amounts of glassware. Again, if you're having a party, you know, you might be having a party at Christmas and you don't normally have that many glasses for the people you're inviting, go and pick up some cheap glassware from a charity shop. You can always take it back and redonate it to the charity shop after the party's finished. You don't have to think, well, where am I going to keep all this? Take it back. You can get tons and tons of glassware in there. So those were the things that I picked up, and like I said, I spent £10.75, so I did go over. Is there anything there that you think is nice you would have picked up? Is there anything there that you might do with it that it's not actually for? So what else could you do with the dessert bowls, or what else would you do with the buttons? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to go over and watch Maria and Tina's videos and see what they bought for £10 in their charity shops, because they, you know, Tina lives down Manchester way, Blackpool way actually, I think she lives. Maria lives down Swindon way, and Marie lives in Vegas. So it'll be interesting to see what she picked up. But charity shops across the country will, you know, they'll all be different. Some days they'll have some decent stuff in, some days they'll just have a load of rubbish in, really. It's just potluck. But also, different charity shops across the country will be different prices. Down in Swindon, you might not get as much for your, you know, your £10 as you would up in the northeast where I am. Some charity shops are definitely more expensive than others. So what would you buy for £10 if you went into a charity shop? Let us know in the comments below. So thank you so much for watching. Next Sunday, I think we're doing our favourite holiday destination. So that'll be interesting to see what we pick for that. We're choosing somewhere that we've been, you know, somewhere over the last 25 years, 30 years, which was our favourite holiday destination, and we'll tell you something about that. So I hope you come back next Sunday and watch it. That's all I've got for now. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, bye for now.